know when. They're not suspenders. They're called uplifters.
That sounds worse.
They're called braces.
Okay, good evening, everybody. We're going to get the commissioners meeting started now. Like to welcome everyone to commissioners meeting for April 11th, 2024. The time is 7:05 p.m. Calls the meeting to order, and if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to take a moment of silence, and I'd also like to remember Officer Jerry Lagasse from the Newington Police Department that dedicated much of his life to protect the citizens of the town of Newington. He fought a hard battle, and we lost him this week. Thank you.
Amen.
Okay, moving on. Attendance, approval of prior meeting minutes of March 14th, 2024.
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes of March 14th.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Public participation, if anybody would like from the public to discuss anything, or if there's anybody online that would like to participate, please raise your hand and we'll get to you. Anybody from the floor? Sherry, nobody online? I don't see anybody here. Okay. Communications.
Yeah.
Yep. Monthly reports.
I have the monthly reports from Chief Tromer, Chief Regina, and Fire Marshal's office, and I will go over Chief Tromer's just very quickly, looking at the last page. We're getting close to total calls for the year. I believe last year we did 7 plus, 7 or 8 plus.
8 plus.
8
It was
plus.
800 plus.
Yeah. 668, so we're getting up there. Chief, thank you for the comprehensive list.
That's just Chief Regina. That's just for the month of March, correct?
That's correct.
Just for the people that, I know a lot of people don't have this in front of them, but there was a total of manpower hours. There was 433 participants, and there was 1,014.36 man hours dedicated to, that is non-incident events. So that's training, cleanups, fire prevention, that has nothing to do with calls.
There is a couple of minor mistakes in there. You might find that the number would go up. A couple people input with no how many people attended and how many hours. So it shows up 0.
Okay,
It's actually higher than that.
okay, thank you.
Chief, do you know why it comes out to 0?
They didn't put the number in.
They didn't put the, I gotcha, okay. Yeah,
I think it's all part of getting used to that new
System.
system.
It's a new system.
Yeah.
Great.
The last report that I have, well, actually, the other part of Chief Regina's training report, progress report, I want to congratulate 4 of the 8 members who completed the firefighter 2 class this past month. And looking at your further report, it's just amazing as to the amount of firefighters, both male and female, that are enlisted in taking other classes through the fire academy. So my hat is off for the training division. Job well done.
Also for fire.
Oh, sorry, Tony Palazzi from Company Two, completed firefighter one.
Fire officer.
Fire officer one, I'm sorry.
Fire officer one.
I knew I missed, I knew I had gone over that when I
And
missed
he
it.
finished that class and the next day he enrolled in fire instructor too.
Instructor
Yeah.
2 class with
Yeah.
Jeff Anderson.
Yep.
With Jeff.
Yes. And these are all certified fire 2 and officer 1. These are all certified people. They got their certification.
That's important.
Chief, are these man hours reflected in your report?
That report I gave you,
So these do not count?
not in that, it's not incident, but we're trying to come up with a way to balance it. Because
Okay,
the amount of hours they put in on those weekends and the nights, and
yeah,
they would kill our training, would be off the wall. So
okay,
I gotta come up with a way of calculating that out.
okay. Thank you.
Last report I have is from the fire marshal's office. I have to say to DJ, that my hat is off to him for the building project updates, which I think is a great idea. This is the first time that I've seen anything. So this gives us a great idea as to what is going on with all of the new construction, where we're at with each one of these projects. So it's very nicely put together from the fire marshal's office. That's all I have for reports.
Okay,
Motion to approve reports.
all in favor?
Aye.
Second, all in favor, aye. Thank you. Ledger status, Commissioner status.
Ledger status, I was going through it and I must admit, I find our fringe benefits are possibly a problem, so we'll have to look at that further, but otherwise, I didn't find any glaring differences, so I'll make a motion to approve the ledger status as approved, as presented.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to old business, radio system update, Chief.
Still progressing very slowly. In the hands of Norcom to finalize the templates along with CPS. Once that is done, then Norcom can program the radios and start the install process. So as of the meeting on Tuesday, everything got pushed out 30 days. So tentatively, the install dates are in May. Could move up, a couple of weeks here or there. But it looks like the install will start in the police department in May. We probably won't see the installs in our fire apparatus until June, if not middle of June. So it all depends on how fast they keep moving in their schedules. But it is moving, but slowly.
Recently, they've been switching radio antennas. Is that part of this?
No, it seems like we're having some major issues with this Callahan Tower with the current equipment that we're on. We've had a lot of failures over the last couple of days. The police department obviously uses that on a consistent basis. And if you listen to the traffic over the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been absolutely terrible. So what happens is when that site fails, they switch over to the high school tower. The problem with switching over to high school tower, we lose the south end. So, that's why they're reluctant to switch over as fast as they do. But yeah, they're having problems. It's failing. So it's just, Marcus is coming out doing the repairs, and that's about where it's at right now.
Okay,
So could it eventually
yeah,
completely?
that's
crap
the
out?
ultimate question is there, since this new radio system is,
There's no plan in place that I'm aware of that they can switch over that quick, no. The only other avenue would be switching over to the high school tower, using that one. That one seems reliable right now, but again, we lose coverage in the south end because it loses its elevation.
so what you're saying, it's a good darn thing that this is happening.
Well, we've been saying this is
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's happening.
It's happening. So, and it continually gets worse and worse each day.
Okay. I was just curious because I know you guys all been hearing.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was part of the new radio system update.
And I
That's
think
what
what's
I thought
happening
was
is there's no really good spare parts out there anymore. So they're just putting used spare parts in there to make it work.
Wow.
It'll last.
And, you know,
Interesting.
that's where we're at right now.
So if we switch to the high school tower and they have a domestic in the south end of town,
So when you get up into the Little Brook, Candlewood
Yeah.
area, they will completely lose almost all radio coverage over there. So the only communication you would have most likely is very staticky
or
to the
cell
point
phones.
where you really can't hear it that well. And
Wow.
that's been an issue with that tower
For
for
a long
quite a
time, yeah.
while.
And that will include us also, if we go up there.
Everybody's on the same tower.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Well, at least it's up in the air now, so. Grant update. Thank you, chief.
I can report that today we submitted a grant for the Safer Act. So that was processed today, submitted. We got the approved, the confirmation came back that that's been submitted, so.
Good.
I guess we keep our fingers crossed that we have good results on the 2 grants that we put in.
Excellent. And they were for what?
The Safer grant, we ended up going with another sign for south end of town. You know, we discussed it as chiefs. I'm using the south end of town because of with the amount of apartments that are going in down there. That's kind of the demographic that would be best to be bringing in to younger people.
Okay.
It's a good chance that people living down there might not get to the center of town.
Right.
To see the sign here. We've got a lot of good comments on the sign here. Informing everybody of the different events that are going on at whatever firehouses, the flower sales,
Mm-hmm.
the pasta dinners, the golf tournaments. I know when people come to the flower sale here, I know that there was interest and there's always applications or a way to get people to sign up. So hopefully. that
And you
gets
said there
out
was 2. What's the second one?
there. The one we did in March,
Yeah.
The what?
the AFG that we did for
Okay.
the washers and dryers.
Okay. That's for AFG?
Yep, and the last one was for Safer. The options for Safer were very, very small this year.
I remember you told us that last one.
So the federal government on both ends, on the AFG and the Safer grant, actually reduced the funding in both those accounts this year. So a lot of the councils are trying to help us push to get the funding back, but the feds are cutting it. So, you know, it's gonna be a lot harder to get federal
Yes, so.
funding going forward.
Excellent. Thank you, chief. Update tablets, transition Alpine. Chief Regina.
We're happy to, I'll just cover this lightly, Chief.
Yeah, please do.
We're having some upgrade issues and some issues with the tablets that are, these systems are dying in our cars. Do what we've been told to do, which is push the P1 key, and then you come out in the morning and your car doesn't start. There's some issues with the configuration of it. There's been some back and forth emails about this whole problem, if you want to call it that. You know, I'll just leave it at that. He's chomping too, so, yeah.
So we have our computers, but we can't start the car to get into the car to go to the call.
At least we know where the call is. We know the
Well, we
call.
know where it is.
We just can't get
It's close
Just can't
by.
get there.
So.
No, you can't make these things up.
No, you can't. So from that perspective, I've got to address something with Chief Trommer. Chief Trommer's been addressing some things with IT. I'm gonna put together something to counter it and talk some things that we gotta address that. And the rest of the system, good news is that the PMP looks like it's finalized, you got the newest update. So personnel now can just generate a report anytime they want, it calculates and does all the stuff. We have a bunch of other stuff that's being done within the system, pre-plans are still being entered. Company one just gave us a whole bunch of their pre-plans. So all that is adding up to where we hope to get by the time we get back to our conversation with ISO. Various companies getting a rate change.
Excellent.
We're
Do you want to keep that on the agenda, Chief, or are we at
the
a,
MDTs until we get that resolved.
are you at a spot where the system's up, it's running, it's
The
good?
system's pretty solid itself. We've, a couple of things, there's some upgrade things that, what was that? Cloud-based systems.
Do you want to keep that under old business or
Yes.
do you want to?
I think you should. At
Okay,
least for another couple of months.
all right, thank you. Autism fundraising. I saw that they were out selling shirts last night. Thank you.
So we are making a donation of $10,000 to the prison school. And so any money that we're making this month from teacher sales is actually going back to the truck to pay for the wrap to come off.
Okay,
So we did very well at the $10,000 mark.
excellent.
That's
And
awesome.
it's actually the same amount that we donated to the cancer center when we had the pink truck. So
Good.
we did very well. Then in a couple of years, we'll decide what the next one's gonna be.
Do we leave that on, Chief, or can that,
You can probably take it off because the
Take it
wrap's coming off in May.
In May.
okay, thank you. 24-25 budget.
It's still in the process. Seems like everything's going smooth right now. I believe they have to pass the budget on Tuesday. The councilors can probably answer that one. But so far, it looks okay for us, so
Okay,
I can't complain one bit. That's not to say on Tuesday I may saw something different, but
I was gonna say that.
would any of the counselors like to speak on the budget?
We're still in the process.
Still in the,
It's the Tuesday.
yep,
We had a conversation this past Tuesday night, and Tuesday is when we'll present our final changes and.
So just on that budget thing, I ran some numbers today, just so you're aware. We have 8% increase in certified firefighters last year. So that contributes to more people call. But we have 11% more firefighters responding to calls over last year on average. And we have 15% more on average attending training from last year, which is phenomenal.
yes, it's good.
Can you send that those figures?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's gonna cost us some more money, but
It's a
that's
good-
an awesome thing.
And,
Go ahead, you said it to me today.
well, it's a good problem to have.
It's a very good
because
problem to have.
It was hard for us to budget for that because the trends through volunteers in the state is going down. We look at Weathersfield, we look at Berlin, we look at Rocky Hill, the numbers are going down. We're like, for some reason, the unicorn, and I'm happy that we keep getting applications. Every month I'm getting applications. So our numbers are growing. We will be breaking, I'm hoping 100 firefighters next couple months for the first time in, I can remember.
that does not include cadets.
So that does not.
Right.
That's
Right.
just firefighters.
So not only are applications going up, but attendance and training and everything is
Everything
going
is
up.
going up, the participation, the community events, the amount of people that we have show up for community events.
And they have fun doing it, don't they?
That's the whole goal. But it's just odd because you look at other departments that are struggling throughout the state, and you see the national trends of volunteers going down, and here we're growing. I mean, our max is what, 150 firefighters?
For those of you on Facebook, look at how much they're copying us when we start towns posting stuff.
They are,
Yes.
yep, exactly. Oh, that's a real good problem to have. Kudos to your staff.
Everybody.
Yep, thank you.
Just to comment on that too, the Middlesex County Fire Chiefs Association average this month, that they average on every 3 fire calls, they call mutual aid. So think about that, every 3 fire calls in Middlesex County, they call for mutual aid right off the bat.
Yeah, and they have to call like 10 towns just to get
Yeah.
20, 25 guys to show up.
Not even 25.
Yeah.
An average call, you have 3 firefighters responding, and that's 3 trucks hitting on you.
And it's funny that you say that because I watched a video this afternoon. I don't know if any of you saw it or not, but there was a house fire in New York a couple Sundays ago. And the house was rocking. It was coming out every window in the house. And the 2 first responders on the scene were state troopers. And the engine in this volunteer town showed up with 1 gentleman. And the video shows this 2 state troopers grabbing the hose line to get water on the 2 exposures because the exposures were starting to start on fire. So they're crediting these 2 state troopers for, their
Saving the
response,
houses next door.
saving the houses next door.
Actually, I believe the last structure fire we had 44 firefighters show up
Yeah.
for the structure fire.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah, it
Just
was
amazing.
43 or 44 when I ran the numbers. Oh, in West Hartford, Chile,
Yeah.
he gave me 2 apparatus, which is
You did it in a truck.
an engine
Yeah.
truck, which most towns cannot do, can barely fill one.
And not only did we do that, we had 11 guys over there. Manning West Hartford's mutual aid.
And plenty of members back here to help us, whatever we got. Excellent. Good stuff. It's all good stuff. Billing per call update.
Still working on it. Hopefully I'll have an answer for you next month.
Okay.
Finalized. Just trying
Ongoing.
to get the contract updated to this year.
No problem. Thank you. Sale of old engine 1.
So Hermes ran into a kind of a roadblock, if you want to say, with the original person. He was looking to buy it. The guy kind of was like tossing it around here or there. He backed out of the deal. It is now going out to auction. The last I heard, it was getting ready. He had to get some pump tests that we provided to him, and it's gonna go out to auction. And he said he'll try to get the top dollar that he can, so it goes back to the town.
Okay.
He can't give me a definitive number, obviously.
We don't want to try selling that ourselves in the department.
I mean, he thinks this is the best avenue, so I'll go off of, his recommendation on that part. He did try the seller that we sold the rescue to, but I think the guy wanted for a steal, so that he could actually upcharge it and sell it himself
Okay,
by just refinishing it, if you want to say.
all right. Okay. Great, thank you. New business, new engine 2. I figure we put that on the agenda. It's coming within a year, so we'll start
Yeah, so
talking
obviously the
about
new
that.
engine 2, it's not due into town until August 2025. So we got a long time before that'll even start.
Yeah.
In the production line. Once that hits the production line, it's usually, I believe it's 3 months, by the time it starts to the time it finishes.
Limited access highway funding.
So we looked into that, and the funding on the limited access highway, they missed a couple payments. They are sending those payments. The town should be receiving those fairly shortly. Marty Ball has been working very hard to try to get those funds back.
Mhm.
They were missing a couple forms. Marty resubmitted those forms along with Sherry to try to get that taken care of. So I'm hoping fairly soon we'll get a check. They did say that the funding for that limited access highway for the state is going dry. So what that means and whether they're gonna re-up it is a whole different scenario. I don't know how that's gonna play out going forward.
Okay.
So I can't guarantee if that's gonna continue
Right,
or if it's gonna dry up as in July.
okay,
But yeah, I mean, we're putting it in as fast as we get them, to get the funding. So,
just, so everybody knows, this is a fund that the state of Connecticut pays us to go on, certain calls of Berlin Turnpike, Route 9, and portions of Cedar Street. And last year, we received fiscal year 22-23, we received $12,000. So, it's a good amount of change coming back into the town coffers. And so far this year, we've submitted 6,000, we received 4,500 to date. So, you know, we try to do the best we can to, whenever we can, to find the funds and the grants to help the town out and, you know, get back some monies for the town. So, you know, we got almost 16.5 between the last couple of years that we brought back. So we're trying our best to bring the money in. So. And that money goes directly to the general fund, correct, Chief?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Same thing with the sale of the fire truck. If once and if that gets sold, that goes to the equipment reserve, which is basically general fund also.
okay. Next thing is, somebody approached me on this and, I says, we'll put it on here and, this is just for discussion. It's not saying that we're gonna do this or anything, but a survey for department to see what's most important to the members. And by what I mean in this is, are we doing as the commission? And I want to make this absolutely perfectly clear that this does not have anything to do with operations of the fire department. Our operations are running very smoothly. The chief and his staff are 1,000% dedicated to this department and moving it in the right direction. I just want to make sure that the three of us up here have done everything that we can to help you guys with pensions, paper calls, and stuff like that. This has nothing to do with how we operate outside this department. And with that said, I'd just like to know what you guys think.
I think that, as part of this, we should have included, what's going on with the building committee for company 4 and what our fire department priorities are, the priority list that we had talked about before. I think that's got to go to the new town council because I'm not sure if they know what our priorities are.
Correct. And I know I have spoken with Chief Trommer.
I have an almost updated form. I should have it to you probably within a day
Yeah,
or so.
we submitted that about 1.5 years ago, remember, Commissioner?
Yeah.
To the then town council and town manager. And I know it's been difficult with town managers coming and going, and we do have a new town council. So I think Chief Trommer has that new our future plan going forward, what's most important to us. And I believe within the next couple months, we can submit that to the council and the town manager.
The only thing that makes me nervous about putting a survey out like this is if you put this survey out and I say I want $50 an hour and you can't produce it for me, then you as a commission are failing me as a request that I'm giving you.
Right.
I think at this point, I think the council has been very productive in what they've given the fire department in paper call and our stipend checks over the last year. I think that's a huge part for us.
Yep, I
think
agree.
the one thing that we really need to look at though, is for retention purposes, is our pension plan. Our pension plan has not been looked at by the town or anybody in about 10 years.
Chief, more than that, because I got it in front of me and it hasn't been updated since 1999.
So again, to me, that's the important part.
Yeah.
Because you know what, as a young firefighter, I'm gonna tell you I want money up front. But for retention of our members for 10+ years, the pension is a big thing for the guys. Because when you retire, you want that cash at the end of the day. For a 20-year-old kid, it could care less what happens in 20 years.
Right.
They're a little worried about today.
And
I'm worried about down the road, taking care of that. That's huge
Correct.
for us on the retention side of it.
you send that survey out, the majority of the department is under.
Right, and just so you know, there is no
Did you
survey.
hear what he said?
Yes,
The majority of the department is under.
Under 40, but
Sure.
actually, we already have any 40-year-olds, they're actually more of 20s and 30s.
yeah.
And
And just so everyone knows, there is no survey as of right now.
I think we should just concentrate on specific things and not put a whole survey out there.
Okay,
And all of a sudden open something up that guys are, I put it on, the survey and I said, I wanted this, but you guys can't produce it.
Right,
I think
right.
it's gonna open up a can of worms that we don't wanna open.
The
That's fine.
negativity that you're gonna receive back, I don't think is worth it.
I really
Okay.
don't. I think right now, the biggest thing, let's go to the town, let's talk about our pension. Let's see what we can do to change it. Let's see what we can do to update it. If it hasn't been touched since 1999, what can we do to help it? What can we do to fix it? Because right now, I can't look at my pension. I can't even go online to see what's in my pension account.
So I
get
have
it on
some
a
answers
yearly-
for that.
I get it on a yearly basis. And Janet even said at one point that she wants to switch our pension
Yes.
people because she doesn't like.
So hold that thought, because when the next thing is pension,
Pension, right.
and I have some information on that, so that I'm gonna share with you, so.
Commissioner, one other point I just make about that too is that if somebody has a complaint or has something to bring to you, come right here,
Correct.
once a month, twice,
Right.
12 times.
No,
a month.
We just want to make sure that we're not missing anything, that we're not doing something we should be doing on our end. It's
Or we're
not on your end.
doing something that we should be doing.
Right, or is there something out there that we don't even know of that will benefit our membership?
Now, the one thing I do recommend is exactly what you said, that we give the town council our priority list for the buildings, which we already gave them once, but it's time that we, let this new council know what's going on. A lot of them went through our buildings for the very first time. So
Right,
now we put that priority list. We put our list for apparatus and what our needs are,
right,
because that's important to us. And start putting that stuff out there. Those are
Okay.
things I think that are crucial for us.
So to really consolidate this, we are putting together an annual report, something the fire department's never done before. We have submitted to the town manager on a yearly basis, a half a page of stats, which really doesn't do us any good. This is gonna be a full annual report the fire department's gonna be putting out. It's what we do, who we are, what our budget is, what we spend our money on, what we concentrate on, what our future goals are, what our needs are when we're looking at the future. So
excellent.
it's gonna be a hefty report. It's probably gonna come out, I'm looking at the end of October, beginning of September, just because I have to compile all that data for the chiefs, divisions, and everything like that. But it's gonna go to the town council and everybody, so we have a full, like, what do we need, our explanations for our needs, what this department's all
Excellent.
about, so.
Excellent.
It's gonna be like a 40 to 50 page
Yeah,
document.
it's gonna
Wow.
be-
When it's all
gonna be
said
a
and
test
done.
document before we start.
Wow,
And-
excellent.
It was a draft. Chief Stegmeyer did do a draft. already.
Absolutely.
Now we have to add in all our sections.
Nice. Kudos, Johnny.
And I know Kent's been around the longest, but when there's issues going on, you're gonna either hear it in the field or they're gonna come here and you're gonna hear it.
Right,
So,
right.
why everybody hints on in, when there's issues, they come.
Okay, good.
All right.
And that's why we just wanted to bring it up, to make
But for
sure
the most
that,
part, with recruitment, we're exactly where we want to be. We need to
Excellent.
Look at the retention piece, but anybody over 10 years, that's the piece we need.
Now, the one thing I do commend the commission on, they did recently go to the legislative building to discuss the tax abatement that potentially is available or they're looking to do towards
Right.
firefighters. I don't know if it's volunteer and paid or just volunteer, but I do appreciate you guys supporting that.
thank
I
you.
think if we do that, that's a very big plus for recruitment, because that would help, young homeowners with their taxes.
Right.
If the state can contribute to that.
And you know my biggest thing, chief, it's great, and the town councilors are gonna laugh when I say this. It's great when the state of Connecticut can say, well, you can give your firefighters this for volunteers and you can give them that. But they don't put any clout behind it when they tell them this. So it's more or less an unfunded mandate.
Well, unfortunately,
as-
that's the biggest thing we're.
Right, and it's about time, and I'm a huge proponent for this, and I'll go down fighting in my grave, that it's about time that the state of Connecticut steps up to the plate and takes care of our volunteer firefighters. As I told the council, the delegation at the state, 72% of the state of Connecticut is volunteer firefighters. 26,000 firefighters in the state of Connecticut, and 23,000 of them are volunteer. And it's it's high time to help with our recruitment and retention, that the state of Connecticut step up and help us and take the burden off the town. That's what needs to happen. And there is some things that they're looking at doing. I don't want to talk about it because it's premature, but hopefully they got our message and we'll see what happens. See what happens from there. So with that being said, we'll move right into the pension fund, and I'll give you some information that I received today. So I talked to Janet Murphy this afternoon. She was very cordial, very nice. And if anybody wants a copy, I have a copy of our pension plan that I've been looking for a long time. It's 19 pages. And the last time this was updated was July 1st, 1999. I'm not a pension guy, I'll admit it right off the bat. But we all know the nuts and bolts. You got to be, you're vested after 10 years and this and that. But so just so you know what they put into our pension plan for a firefighter, it's not a lot of money. Hold on, I got it right here. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. There it is. So for our firefighters, between less than 5 years of service, they get $385 a year to go into a pension plan. So, and that's per year. That's one time. So they get $385 for the first 5 years of their career in the Newington Fire Department. 6 to 10 years, it jumps up to $420. And if you got 30 to 35 years, you get $700 a year. Johnny, for guys like us over 35 years, you're at $805 a year. So asking Janet, because I'm not a pension guy, I says, so what can we do? And so this is her biggest thing. The way that this was set up, and you just mentioned it, is that I can't even look at it. I can't even get into it. It was set up because there's such little payments put into it. They don't want, if we wanted to go in and change things around and look at this and do this and move things around, then there's a maintenance fee involved that's passed on to the member. So that maintenance fee could be whatever it is. It could be $125, $200 a year. I don't know what it is. So the reason why it's set up the way it is now is because it doesn't cost us anything to maintain those small funds. That's exactly what she told me today.
You should still be able to go in and physically look at it.
Oh, the
But
problem,
then it costs you money.
the problem is that there is no individual in this. It's a group plan.
Correct.
So that everybody contributes and then it gets all invested as a group. So that
Right.
there isn't a little piece that you can look at.
But,
Right.
but you are asked if you want growth or.
Correct,
Right.
only
But you're
after
asked-
10 years.
Yeah, but you're asked to do that a year in advance.
A year in advance.
Right,
How can you?
you don't. So I don't know if we're gonna definitely move forward with this to see what we can do to enhance the plan. Because obviously from 1999, that's 25 years ago. I'm sure there's better stuff out there that we can, and I asked Janet, I said, well, what about the town's 401? Can we piggyback into that? And she goes, the difference between that and this is this once a year, a certain amount of money gets dumped into the fund and that's it. With the town employees, that's coming out weekly. Their employees have a code or something like that to get on to see what they have into their, but there's a cost to all of that.
cost to the town.
and it's a cost to the town.
What about the pension plan that was discontinued?
So I asked her about that too. And the only department in the town of Newington that currently maintains that type of pension plan where you did 20 years, you leave with so much money, you get that for the rest of your life. The only ones that have that currently are the police department. And they are trying to get rid of all this because it costs the town millions to do this.
What happens with that, it was a defined benefit instead of a defined contribution plan. It's a defined benefit plan. And in a defined benefit plan, everybody here, their contribution to it goes, it creates a liability for the town. So all the money that we're putting into it creates a liability, and the town owes money, so that not only is it difficult for them to manage, but it also hurts our rating as far as bond ratings go, because we've got this huge liability sitting there. That's the reason we changed to a defined contribution from a defined benefit.
The only question I have is, why are we the only department that are 25 years out that we haven't looked at ours?
Maybe that's our fault. I would say that's our
No,
fault.
I would say we should have looked at it.
We should have looked at it sooner.
But is it something that we now need to, on a regular basis?
Absolutely.
Need to stay on
I
top
would
of?
say like
Yeah.
at least every 5 years, take a look at it.
But again, it's something now, so we've lost 25 years of potential, whatever.
Correct,
So now, I'm not saying we're gonna make it all up, obviously.
Right.
but
right.
We have to figure out a way
Yes,
to balance that.
yes, we do.
But yeah, we have to look at how that affects our retention of 40-plus-year-olds.
Right,
You do have a big gap right now.
Right.
right.
And to me, that's the most important thing. That's a retention tool for our guys
Absolutely,
going forward.
absolutely.
Like I said, the young guys, they look at paper ball. That's what
Correct.
they're looking for.
Correct.
The retention part is the pension.
And I'm sure we've all, we were all there at one time.
Absolutely.
You want to see the,
Oh, my pardon.
you want to see the dollars, you want to see your hourly wage go up. And as a 20 or 30-year-old kid, you're not thinking of what you need at 60 years old. And, us at 60 are saying,
Yeah.
hey, it would be nice. Yeah, put more money away. So, there's that fine balance, but I think what we've done with the stipend, because we've raised the stipend twice over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Thanks to the town council. And in July, we raised the pay per call to a halfway decent amount. And so now I think the third piece that we have to very diligently work on and get this done is our pension plan. So we'll keep it on the agenda. We'll work hard on it. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna reach out and ask to start,
What's the volunteer association?
Yeah, there's a volunteer fire council also that you could reach out to. And there are, pension funds specifically for fire departments.
I think
Right.
it's VFI,
So-
VFIA.
Yes.
Reach out to Tim Hall down in, Wallingford. Part of the default.
I don't know if there's a cost involved in this. If there's a minimal, if it's a minimal cost, that's fine. I'm sure we can
I mean, everybody-
absorb it in our budget,
The
but-
meeting started and let's just start
Yeah.
moving forward. with it.
start moving forward. So,
So.
all right, now,
It's long overdue.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get working on it, and this is the first step of doing it. If anyone wants one, let me know. I'll make you copies. It's pretty interesting reading from the 90s. So, but we're all in to make it better.
Yeah, it's a different world today. I received 2 different pensions from the fire department because I was on the old plan and the new plan.
Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah, me neither, because it says right in here, the significant 17.
Yeah, and,
We're not part of it.
I'm not, how come?
and.
I don't know why either.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's like found money. didn't expect to get anything out of joining the fire department, so but I can see where now we do have a gap and we gotta make up that gap.
And people, and just to comment, the age group of younger people today are very, some express themselves in volunteering, some do and look for something. The age of you coming to do this, not getting anything is.
Well, when we started,
We got nothing.
we had nothing.
Yeah.
We had absolute zero.
And I'm saying,
And we did it not, we did it because we loved our community.
Yeah.
But look what happened.
Some of that is still there.
Yeah.
But to keep them, I think we gotta give them a little something. But look what's, like we said it in the last section, look what's happening all over the country. And to get a paid department in this town, I don't think the two counselors that are sitting in this room want to know how much it's gonna cost us. Because it's gonna be between $7 and $9 million to have a paid fire department in this town.
And that's on the very low side.
And that's not getting 45 guys at a working fire. That's, you're lucky if you'll get 15,
And that's 45 professional fire.
all right? And believe me, you people in TV land, I'm not bashing Cromwell at all, but look at the issues that they're having in Cromwell. It's costing them a lot of money. And every single day, and whoever gets the thing from the state academy, it's these employment opportunities, Cromwell, part-time, full-time, part-time, full-time, and it's there every day. And I don't want that happening to Newington. So if it costs us a couple bucks to keep our 100 guys to get 45 guys at a house fire, I'm very, very happy at night.
I know doing personal for quite a while, 99% of the applicants that do apply don't know there's a little funds behind.
Right.
You know, they come and they want to support the town,
It's a perk.
that was trained so they can go pay.
Yep.
But you're not coming for anything.
Yep. I heard some news today on the radio and I hope it doesn't affect our response. But at $5 a gallon for gasoline in the near future, phew, that's gonna be tough.
That's why the stipend got started.
That's why the stipend got started, to help us with our gas money. So, anybody else like to comment on the pension plan? Commissioners?
Yeah,
I'm good?
I'm good.
Thank you. All right, moving right along. So item number 11, public participation for the second time. If anyone would like to comment, Johnny.
Just real quick, I'm not sure if I was here, Chief Sandy got appointed, I'd like to congratulate him for his appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else like to, Chief Regina?
I guess you could sort of call it welfare of the department. A couple things that we're working on. We're right now in the process of negotiating with a contractor that is going to be handling the DOT storage facility on Payne Road. When the sprinkler system is shut down, we're going to be doing a fire watch, probably sometime they were originally shooting for the end of April through the month of May, approximately a 4-week period of time. The difference on this fire watch compared to the one we did for 3333 Berlin Turnpike is that we're going to be covering the facility from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 in the morning and 24, the 48-hour weekend, full-time.
Oh, wow.
thing. So and that'll be on for 4 weeks. So
Now, will that just be a single member in his own, in a,
we'll have a vehicle. We believe.
no apparatus
Well,
involved?
we could probably put one of the vehicles.
Not a Class A pumper?
No, and they have to be certified firefighters. The problem is they have records and things that need to be carefully watched. And that can't undergo because there is no.
I hear it's like every plan for the infrastructure for the whole state of Connecticut.
Correct.
Okay,
So that's going on.
very important stuff.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
They want, part of the deal is that there has to be a radio direct communication to our dispatch. so that if something happens while that we're there, that we can immediately communicate that up.
Well, Chief, as you know, both chiefs, all chiefs, as you know, we did it for approximately 4 or 5 months for 3333. Our members shine. We supplied them with nonstop coverage with no breaks. And I'm sure our members will step up to do the same thing for the state of Kankakee.
The second item is that we were sort of speaking for our safety group, but I've been involved in it since the beginning. We need to refresh our AED and CPR training. We were looking at having our EMS do that process. Then we also started to look outside. We had somebody give us a price of $95 per member to do that.
Wow.
With 100 members, that's a lot of money. I just got the paperwork on who needs it and what we have to do is to do it. And I spoke to Chief Trommer and we were in the chief's meeting. I reached out to West Hartford and we are in negotiation for them. Zero cost to us. They have on trainers. They're using our tower. They're going to take care of our.
Wow.
So
That's
we're
pretty
working on
awesome.
that right now. So
That's
just gotta
pretty
get the
awesome.
numbers.
And they're eager probably to do it. Wow, West Hartford has become a real good community partner. Both ways, them coming here, us going there, them using our tower. And I think that directly reflects on the staff of this fire department with our command staff and how cooperation, a little bit of talking and organization can do great things.
It helps to have a former member in their administrative staff.
Yes, yes,
A couple of them.
yes.
Couple of them.
Yeah.
A couple of them. We have one fire marshal and we have one past firefighter. Yep, excellent. Great.
Just want to bring up this.
That's it, chief?
Yes,
Excuse me, chief. That's it?
yes, sir.
Thank you.
Just want to bring up this weekend, Saturday the 13th, I believe it is. There's a fundraiser for Chucky Flynn, who passed away, unfortunately. There's a scholarship fundraiser coming up, so if anybody could attend that, family would greatly appreciate it. It's $20 a person, and I believe I sent it out to the department.
Yes, you
what
did.
the times were. So if we can support that cause, I think it would be huge.
Okay, anybody else?
And just one last thing, a lot of the ARPA funds that we were given by the town council, which we greatly appreciate. We're working, our thermal imager should be in any day. They actually were supposed to be here today. FedEx kind of missed delivering
Missed the
them.
stop.
Yeah, but those should be here. The SIMS device for the SCBA have been ordered. Hopefully that install will go in May. The fire museum, boiler, all the rest of the stuff was approved the other day. So that work should be started fairly soon. All the permits have been approved. So I can't thank the council enough. That's very thoughtful of you guys to do that for us. That helps the department in a big way. So thank you.
Thank you, chief.
Thank you.
Anything else from the public? Nobody online? Okay, well, going once, twice. Okay, public participation is done. Commissioner by remarks. So I'll start on my left with Commissioner Snyder.
Just for your own benefit, I became a grandfather again last night at 11.
Congratulations. Give him an application.
Luke Elliott Stoddard.
Another future firefighter.
So
Congratulations, Grandpa.
Yep.
Number 5.
he still tells me I gotta go 2 more to beat him.
Yeah, got 2 more, you
I
get
told him
7,
it's
then
not a
you
race.
beat me.
No, otherwise, I think everything went well tonight and we'll look at fringe benefits and pension.
Yes, thank you. That's it, Commissioner.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner DeMayo.
Chief Regina, I was extremely impressed the other night when I happened to stop in while you were doing a training class of the new
You should have jumped in.
I really wanted to, but
Well,
I
he
said-
I didn't
was,
realize you were standing there like her.
was that Monday night?
no, it was
Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Oh, well, you weren't here for Monday
did that
night
go?
because Monday night we had a rocket science here.
Yeah, we had rocket science here.
We had a rocket scientist here Monday night, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but this guy was incredible.
Well, I saw the picture on Facebook, so I'm sorry that I missed Monday, but Tuesday was very impressive. I like the new piece of
So
equipment.
you just have to remind the council that that's their turn to play too.
That's right.
We have it set up, so.
Was that my new favorite toy?
Yeah.
Come to the pasta dinner.
That is cool.
Yeah, pasta dinner over here. Come to pasta dinner.
My new favorite training prop is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I
Awesome.
really want to get that out to the public, to show the public at the town council. That this thing's really, really cool. And you'll, this is, how can I put it? A video game on steroids, more or less.
22nd century.
We were
This-
smoking up the bag because we had the smoking machine tied into it.
This
It
thing
wasn't
is,
quite, we still have some little things we have to work out.
yeah,
But we were,
this makes a 62-year-old man just kind of like, this is really cool.
The nice part about it, it gives us our cadets that really can't see live fire.
Right.
It gives them the ability to see what a fire is like.
Yeah.
So that's, even though we consider it like a, game, it's
It's the real
a
deal.
beneficial thing for them to be able to experience what the firefighters are experiencing in real live fire. So that's the crucial part of this whole thing. Plus it gives us for public education, fire prevention, that type of stuff.
Right. We can literally make any room on fire, any building, any room USA.
Correct.
It's cool. It's really cool. And it's like you are, it's not with a pair of goggles. It's not with some joystick. It's with a real hose and a real nozzle and real sound effects and look like real flames in front of you. And it's just real cool beans. Very, very, very cool.
Safe, realistic training.
Yep.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
for, like you said, chief, for our cadets, because I know them, I know they're itching to get in there to put the wet stuff on the red stuff, as we call it. And this is like 99.9% of it. And it gives them that little bit of taste. It's really
It
cool.
was Frank's turn, though.
I
That's
don't,
okay.
I'm so, no, he can keep going. He can keep going.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right.
next time, raise your hand and make sure.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to make that comment.
We are supposed to be doing it next
Tuesday.
for the fire prevention group so that they can get used to it. So our plan is to be doing it next Tuesday.
Well, don't be surprised if I show up again, so. Thank you very much. Yeah, and here again, this department, each and every day, when I get the opportunity to, either hear what's going on or I hear from other people, we constantly talk about how well this department operates, and my hat is off again to the command staff for what you guys do on a daily basis to make this department to run the way it is. So my hat's off to you guys. Thank you. That's it.
That's it, Commissioner.
That's it.
Thank you. Once again, I thank you guys all. My hat's off to you for everything that you do, for going above and beyond to make this the best damn fire department in the state of Connecticut, hands down. Training. I know I just touched on it, but training is, I don't think I've ever seen the kind of training in this department that we've had in the last few years since this training staff has taken over. And when I say this gentleman that was here Monday night was a rocket scientist, he was a rocket scientist because he was throwing formulas out on this board that would make your head spin. But on the bottom line, it came down to, it was our hazmat refresher that we have to do yearly. And he brought a lot of stuff to light that 40-something years in this department, I didn't know. And I'm sure you didn't know a lot of the stuff that he was talking about. And he had a lot to do with electric vehicles, and it was really cool stuff. And
Just
Hats
so,
off.
just so everybody knows, it was Jeff Chandler.
Yeah.
From
That,
It used to be our DEP rep.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
and this guy is,
Now a mystic firefighter.
he is
Firefighter missed that. He used to be the chief.
he is unbelievably smart.
Smart guy.
Unbelievably. And I even got a chocolate, so I was pretty impressed with that. So,
That means you were smart too.
when he was throwing out chocolates, if you had a right answer, and I was the first one to get one, I was pretty impressed. So, but Chief, thank you. And
Just so you're aware, I did contact Berlin there, did not know of the issue about the F500 and their phone. We did check that, we've asked to check. They do have the Class B phone, the green, and they are now aware that it's okay for them to spray it on ours, but not to have us spray it.
spray it on hers. And the last thing I want to close by saying is please keep all members in your thoughts and prayers that are sick or homebound. It just seems like every other day, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older and that's just natural in my life, but you know, Chief Traumer, if you're listening, if you're watching, we're here for you. We, you know, if there's anything you need, just let us know. You need us to go start the cars to warm them up for a year or mow the lawn or take your garbage out. Captain Bobby Traumer, you know, same thing. We're here for you. And if I'm missing somebody, I apologize, but you know, we're a family and family takes care of family. So let's just remember that when we're out in the bay and we're getting in an argument that we're still family and we're all family. So
We don't have any arguments in the past.
yeah, so.
Make sure you think about that.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. Congratulations to all the companies for their flower sales. I know company 2 was very successful. And with that, I'd like to thank all of the residents that patronized all 3 of our firehouses, 1s, 2s, and 3s, for their kind support to the fire department. If it wasn't for them, these little things that we do on a company basis wouldn't get done, because that directly goes to the company and not to the department. And those little things help out a lot. And, you know, just because it's a $25 flower, it goes a long way. So for the residents, thank you very much.
Just a side note to that, a high percentage of ours at company 3 are from West Hartford.
Wow. Well, so thank you. And on that, thank the town council for the budget for this year. Was very cordial. And let's hope that we stay intact come Tuesday.
Motion to
Oh,
adjourn.
hold on.
One other thing.
Oh, yes. Oh, well,
We didn't have.
we didn't have to add it, so we'll
Okay.
get it next month.
All right,
All right, motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, thank you.